Today is going to be a little bit different because I will be answering commonly Googled questions about law students. So when you type, are law students blank or do law students blank, Google autofills. So these questions that appear in the drop-down list will be answered today by a law student. So the first question here is, are law students smart? I would say that majority of the law students have this particular set of skills that made them fit for law school. Most of the law schools here, especially in the Philippines, have entrance exams. Although we don't have LSATs, we have an exam per school. So that means when you pass that exam, school assumes that you have the qualities that they're looking for. I think I would answer this as yes, majority of law students are smart. Although if you ask us to compute, I think a lot will agree that we can't do that. So we are smart on a particular topic. I guess that makes sense. Next question is, are law students happy? So I'm speaking from my own experience. I would say that I was happy I was a happy law student. And that happiness didn't come from law school. That happiness was because I had lots of things going on while I was in law school. Like I got married, I had a business, and I got a house. So my happiness was not because I was in law school. So this is a very personal question. I think, are law students happy? But there is a general consensus that law students are somewhat miserable and anxious all the time because of the style of teaching. Like, we use the Socratic method, meaning the professor expects you to know the topic before you go to class. When in class, the professor is gonna ask you a bunch of questions to really test you if you know what you're talking about. So I guess law students are happy in the sense that you can really find good friends in law school. You also have a lot of activities in law school. And it's also fun that you're learning the law. But on a daily basis, I wouldn't say that law students are happy. We're happy learning, but we're not really happy about the anxiety that the recitations give and the difficult exams give. But it's okay. It's part of life. Next question here is, why are law students so depressed? While this sounds like law students are just trying to blow things out of proportion, this is a very real and serious question. Why are law students so depressed? I guess in US, for example, the cost of law school is very, very steep. Having to think of that burden, like paying off your law school, is one of the things that, makes students really depressed. And also the style of teaching, as I mentioned a while ago, professors aren't really spoon feeding you. In a sense, you're expected to be present, to know your stuff, and to answer the questions. So it's a lot of responsibility, I think, if you ask me. Here in the Philippines, I think it's a combination of many factors. Like, for example, if you're a working law student, the weight of having to finance yourself through law school, the difficulty of transportation, and just the difficulty of finishing the material, because of course you only have so much time in a day, and each of us has our own responsibilities, that other people might not understand. So I think law students are depressed because of a combination of different factors. It can be socioeconomic, it can be academic, it can be emotional, it can be physical. So it's really a combination of a lot of factors. If you're a law student and you think you're battling depression, please consult someone. Please see a professional. Of course, also you can also talk to your friends, but if you really need help, there's no shame in asking for it. Okay. So the next question is, why are law students so pretentious? I wouldn't say that we're pretentious. I would say that we're trying so hard. Law students read a lot of materials, like we read a lot of books, we read a lot of cases, and there isn't really much time to talk about things, about life. So because we read about it a lot, because we study it a lot, it comes off naturally that we talk about these things. For example, let's say you work 50 hours a week and you don't have so much time to read a book or watch a series. Most often than not, you would talk about your work because that's what you do. That's what you do majority of the time. So I think this also applies. I guess we like to apply the things that we learned in everyday scenarios because the law can sometimes be very intangible and vague. So as much as possible, we try to understand it using everyday scenarios, and that's why a lot of law students will suddenly blurt out a topic if they feel it's sort of related to what you were saying or what you're saying. Just, give us a little more patience when it comes to that, because law students, maybe some of us are pretentious, or a lot of us are pretentious in some cases, but I think it's just really rooted on the fact that we're trying to understand what we're studying. The only thing that makes sense is to apply it or to use it in an everyday scenario. So the next question here is, do law students have free time? So again, this question depends on whether you are not involved in a lot of activities or whether you're not working. For some students who are active in debate societies or moot court or student council, so they might not have a lot of free time. Also, this applies to working law students. Of course, as working law students, we work 8 hours to 9 hours a day, and then we travel to and from work, to and from school, so we don't have a lot of free time. But if you budget your time correct, you would be able to find some free time on the weekends. The next question here is, do law students party? Yes, a lot of law students party. Well, I'm not included because I'm not really into partying with my other law student friends. When I party, it's usually with my other set of friends. But yeah, we law students do party. A lot of law students love to drink, especially after class, and especially on Fridays or Saturday, or when classes get cancelled. This is like the stress reliever for a lot of law students. And we also host a lot of parties, like a lot of fraternities, sororities, or orgs host a lot of parties. Whether it's to kick off the bar, or whether it's the bar salubong, whether it's to kick off the year, or it's Christmas. So we find a lot of reasons to party. Next question here is, do law students care about extracurriculars? Yes, students are type A students. So a lot of law students are very competitive, and a lot of students are passionate about things. They join orgs who fight for these causes, or they usually run for law student government. So this is a yes, law students care about extracurriculars because it's one way also to take your mind off the readings or the actual subjects, and it's also a great way to expand your knowledge. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my Instagram account at Making Mixes. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below and I will gladly answer them. Again, this is Mike's and this is Making Mixes. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!